Welcome to the 81st Rose Bowl from Pasadena, California, for a battle between the Oregon Ducks and the undefeated Penn State Nittany Lions. Let's join the action now with the opening kickoff right here on ESPN Classic.
And Brett Conway now ready. Penn State was here in 1923. Oregon was last year in 1958. It's Ricky Whittle from the 8. And he comes back to about the 18. There, the Oregon Ducks will put it into play. Danny O'Neill, in his career at Oregon, had a huge season last year, a little less this year, but the team was more successful this year, as he has thrown the ball for more than 7,000 yards. Opening behind him in the backfield will be Dwayne Jones at fullback and Ricky Whittle, number 14, at tailback. And they will play a lot of tailbacks today. Oregon will send Ricketts, number 3, wide, along with Christian McLemore. Josh Wilcox, the tight end, also flexes out. Here's your first snap of the day. Penalty flag's thrown. They try to bring it inside with McLemore. He picks up a couple of yards, but let's see about the flag. It'll be offsides against Penn State, so there is some anxiety running through the minds and souls of these youngsters. The offensive backs and receivers for Oregon, McLemore, number 1, is a key man. More often than not, the hot man. He is a little guy at about 185 pounds, but he will go down the middle with it. And the idea for all these wideouts for Oregon, first you catch the ball and then you run with it. So they effectively become running backs once they have the ball. So the offsides penalty against the Nittany Lions gives Oregon a 1st and 5 up at the 24. And this is Whittle, 193-pound junior out of Fresno, California, getting just across the 25. Now these are the people that will tell the story of Oregon's fortunes today. The offensive front, Bob Greasy, they got to give Danny O'Neill enough time.
4 new starters in that offensive line from last year. 3 of them are sophomores. They've had a lot of injuries in that group, and they have allowed a lot of sacks. Penn State sacks the quarterback very well, and you are right, they must play well for Oregon to have a chance.
2nd down and 3. It is O'Neill looking to the right. He's got double wide there. They stay with a run. They go to Whittle. He's caught by the ankle. He can't break loose from Willie Smith, and he is taken down after about a yard pickup. So it's a sticky wicket in the middle against this defensive bunch, and Willie Smith, who just made that last tackle, I think will have a big day today because he has grown this year, I think, into a terrific football player. In the secondary, Bob, there's a new man.
Penzinek starts at free safety. Dingle and Herring and Dingle both out. There's a look at Penzinek. His first career start is the Rose Bowl.
3rd down, first pass thrown wide to the left side to Dameron Ricketts, and Ricketts goes up, one-hands that thing and brings it down.
Wasn't a good throw by O'Neill, but what Oregon needs to do on offense is come out and make first downs and control the football. Keep it away from Penn State and that high-scoring offense.
It is just enough for the first. Put it up on the 34-yard line, and Danny O'Neill is probably pumped, wouldn't you say, at this point? That's Whittle bouncing over the right side, finding a little daylight. A penalty flag thrown here, and I think you've got possibly a holding call coming up. And if it is holding, it's probably against Oregon. There's the holding, and it is against Oregon. And let's check in with Lynn Swan.
Thank you very much, Keith. You know, let's try and put that Nebraska-Miami in perspective for both these teams. When I talked to the kids from Penn State, they were a little disappointed, a little depressed. Not that bad. Joe Paterno stressed to these guys, it's the outcome of their season is up to them. They can't depend on anybody else. That he felt they would not be down. But I can tell you, when you watch a game like that, you watch it all the way through the 4th quarter, you think what you want is going to happen. Miami's going to upset them, and they don't. You are a little down. If they can get it under control, they'll be okay. On the Oregon side, they said they don't think they can nickel and dime the Penn State team. What they want to do, move the ball and look for the big play to get some points on the scoreboard. Keith?
That was a 12-yard penalty against Oregon. So it moves it back and makes it a 1st and 22 because holding is a penalty from the spot of the Wilcox, the tight end. This time O'Neal was on the money to his tight end right in the heart of the field, and he is close to the first down.
Well, what Lynn said was they need some big plays, and O'Neal is the guy that has to give it. They've got some speed at the wide receivers, and Wilcox, the tight end, is going to have single coverage a lot during the day. That's a big throw for O'Neal and a big catch for Wilcox.
Josh, Daddy was Dave Wilcox, who's one of the great ones in San Francisco 49er history.
Played the same position.
Yep. Played for Lynn Casanova. And that 58 team that played Ohio State here, and we've got another penalty flag. So the boys from the ACC brought the laundry with them, didn't they? Courtney Mosey with the call.
Dead ball. Delay the game. Offense.
Scott Dawson is the umpire. Michael Samples, the head linesman. Richie Williams, the field judge. Williamson, John Gutbold, the line judge. Dan Hogue, the side judge. And Tommy Hunt is the back judge. So the Ducks now absorbing their second penalty. They'll be looking at 2nd down and 6, having almost picked up the first down on 1st and 22. O'Neal back, short drop, quick pass, bring it back into the middle, into the traffic, and there's the first down. Caught by Cameron Ricketts. Ricketts is 5'9", 177, sophomore out of Culver City, California.
Ricketts led the team in receptions this year with 36. Oregon needs to hit the game going on all cylinders. They want to take some offensive plays that are sound, but they also want to try big plays, wide open, throw the ball all over the field. They're not going to leave anything in their bag of tricks.
On the 49, first down for the Ducks as they near midfield. Penn State offense is yet to see the ball. This is Whittle. He's hit behind the line of scrimmage, but shakes off the tackler and gets it across midfield to the Penn State 48-yard line. He got away from Clint Holes, the strong safety.
Brian Miller on the tackle.
Holes is going to be 13, and it's just a good job by the running back to avoid the tackle. Poor tackling by the defense. And the Ducks have what they want, and that is some kind of a drive to open the ball game to get some confidence going for their side.
2nd down and 8. Ball on the Nittany Lions 48-yard line. O'Neal down the middle. Pass is underthrown. Josh Wilcox was breaking free. If O'Neal had had a little deeper drop, he might well have had 6 points in his pocket.
I think the other thing too, Keith, is O'Neal thought that Wilcox was open when he threw it, and that Wilcox wasn't looking at the right time. There's an old quarterback that
played behind Terry Baker at Oregon State.
Yes, he did.
Rick says he played the defense, and Terry played the offense.
Back in the old, when they couldn't substitute many guys, right?
Yeah. 3rd down and 7. Ball like 8. That pass is poorly thrown by O'Neal, intended for Ricky Whittle. What they do is send their tailback out in motion and then bring him back almost on a wide receiver screen like that. And O'Neal did not throw it well. True freshman Matt Belden then will come in on 4th down, the punt for the Oregon Ducks. And Mike Archie goes back for Penn State, standing back at the 10-yard line. Belden has been quite dependable this year, averaging just under 40 yards per punt.
He's been busy too. He's
yes, he has
77 punts.
Gets some air under it. The Penn State offense against the Oregon defense. The ball is at the 16-yard line. It is first down for the Lions, with Milne and Ki-Jana Carter lined up in the backfield. Brady Scott is the man in motion. Here's Carter. And breaks it. He's gone. Goodbye. It'll be touchdown, Penn State. First play of the ball game. It goes into the books as 83 yards. They had him, they thought, and then he was gone.
I was going to tell you he's explosive, but you can see that. He breaks a tackle of O'Berry, number 4, right in the hole, right here. He breaks the tackle. Everybody else has got a man in their face, and he is not going to be caught from behind. Gained over 1,500 yards rushing, 1,000 yards each of the last 2 seasons. Penn State leads the nation in scoring offense, and that is one of the reasons.
Brett Conway for the point. It's good. All right, here's Oregon. First down, Penn State 34-yard line. Danny O'Neal back to throw it. He has time. He has a man. Wilcox, he's at the corner. Out of bounds, just short of the 1-yard line. So Josh Wilcox, the tight end, almost sneaked in for 6.
What you got, watch, he's going to sit up and pump. Right here, the corner bites. What you've got is the tight end lined up wide on Forbes, number 46. Forbes is the extra cornerback covering a tight end. He says it's a piece of cake. They throw it deep to the tight end, and Wilcox is the star of the offense so far for the Ducks.
Oregon ready from the 1-yard line. First and goal. Play goes into the middle, and the Lions stuff it. May have lost on the play. And a penalty flag on top of it. Phil Yaw tried the center of the line, and he ran into a bunch of trees. Offsides, Penn State. 4:32 having elapsed in the ball game. The total yards in the first 4:32, 207 yards.
Here's a look at what Oregon has done inside the 20. 39 of 44 is doggone good. And look, Penn State defensively, they're 70th in the nation on defense. They are first on offense, but 70th defense. So there's Jerry Sandusky, the defensive coordinator. He's had a lot of injuries, but they have given up 29 or more points in 3 of their last 4 games.
O'Neal will throw it. That's his man. Touchdown, Wilcox.
It's only right. Wilcox did a lot to get him down there. Here's Wilcox here. He's going to slide to the outside as the ball is play action faked. Watch as he's going to hit him to the outside. Second down and short. Still a good down to throw on. Wilcox wide open for the touch.
Matt Belden is in for the extra point to tie. Got it. Josh Wilcox is going to owe me something. Because when I visited, I sat with him and told him he could have a big day against the Penn State defense. First play of the ball game, Penn State, 83 yards, touchdown. The next 23 plays, they've gained 83 yards. Kerry Collins, Bobby Ingram, wide open. He ran Molden off. Molden was 10 yards down the field, turning around looking for him, and he catches the ball. So good play by Ingram.
Boy, you just hope that game proves up to be as exciting as the previous one.
I may not want to watch it if it's like that. That's a good pass by Kerry Collins. Strong arm, and again, he's going.
You've got to get the ball to your wide receivers. Both Ingram and Scott both averaged 20 yards per reception this year, and both totaled over 1,000 yards. In fact, Scott was a little under 1,000, but those are the big play guys for Penn State. You've got so many choices. You got Carter in the backfield. You've got Brady at tight end. You've got 2 outstanding wide receivers, but you cannot make mistakes. You can't put the ball on the ground.
3:20 to go in the first half. Scott's in motion. Carter over the left side, going deep as a receiver. The pass thrown toward him, and it is incomplete. Defending is Kenny Wheaton for Oregon. And Carter had no chance at catching that ball.
Wheaton is the nickelback, the 5th back that Oregon uses in their defensive schemes. He is a reserve, but made the all-conference team, the 2nd team, as a reserve redshirt freshman for Nick Aliotti.
Second down and 10 for the Nittany Lions. Haven't thrown much in Scott yet. Fullback, John Whitman. He does not get to the line of scrimmage as Jeremy Asher, number 44, just jawboned him. 3rd and 12. Collins going deep. He's got a man. It's out of bounds at the 1-yard line. Joe Juravicius. A redshirt freshman, 6'5", big target, makes a great catch.
Juravicius, 83, the top of your screen, is like the 4th choice on this route. He came into the game with 1 catch all year. He is the punter. He has seen action punting a lot more than he has wide receiving, and that is a big catch for that young man.
1st and goal for the Nittany Lions at the Oregon 1. They got the matchup they wanted. Juravicius delivered it to the 1.
They've been outstanding inside the 20.
Fullback, John Whitman, and he does not get over the top. It'll be 2nd down and goal.
This graphic here, Keith, they've been inside 60 times, and they've scored 56 of the 60, and 47 consecutive times they've been inside the opponent's 20, they have scored. And that is one of the reasons right there. And again,
fullback,
that's the other reason.
Brian Milne, he slams it in there. And the Nittany Lions have grown to the lead 13-7. And the play, the great pass by Collins, and the catch by Juravicius sets it up.
Milne, number 22, is 6'3" and 253 pounds. He's a good receiver and a
both
tough,
a load, aren't they?
Tough kid.
Oh boy, they're tough. Conway for the point. Knuckleball, but he got it through.
Field goal kickers are having their problems.
Oh, are they ever? Oregon will kick it off. Matt Belden will kick it. Mike Archie is the man they'd like to return it. Ambrose Fletcher is back there with him. This is a very big defensive series right here for Oregon. Belden, who missed 2 field goals in the first half, knocks it back to the 1-yard line. And Archie comes back to the 20-21. Here is Lynn Swan.
Keith, I talked with Joe Paterno at the halftime, and he said this defense of Oregon's, it's outstanding. He said the one thing they're doing differently is throwing a different blitz package at the offense he wasn't looking for. And I asked him, after the big play by Ki-Jana Carter, did that affect the offense? He said, you know, there could be something to that. Sometimes when you score too easily, you get spoiled. Keith?
False security. All right, here come the Nittany Lions up to the 21-yard line, 1st down with Carter and Milne. The backs behind Kerry Collins. And Kerry on 1st down comes out throwing to the fullback. The ball is caught at about the 25. Milne, a 253-pound junior from Waterford, Pennsylvania. Both these fullbacks are juniors.
Here's a look at the numbers in the first half. Look at Penn State. Rushing yards, 123, passing about the same. They're balanced. For Oregon, 278 yards passing, only 16 rushing. Each has had a turnover, time of possession, a little bit in the favor of Oregon.
John Whitman checks into the backfield now for the Lions. 2nd down and about 7. Collins again throwing to the sideline.
Good throw.
Good throw, and the man under it is Freddie Scott, who probably, they're not going to call it possession. He didn't have it when he went out of bounds. And there's a penalty flag waiting over here. But I think Scott will see the ball more in the 2nd half than he did in the 1st.
Here's a look at Penn State in the first half. They scored on their first possession, and they scored on their last possession. A thing to note there, they did not have very good field position. The best they had was on their own 28-yard line. The leaders, Collins was 9 of 13 and 115. Carter, not much after that big first run, and Ingram led the receivers with 4 for 48 yards.
So it's 3rd down and a long 6 for Penn State.
Here they come.
Ki-Jana Carter on a pitch, pops out of there, but they finally bring him down. They almost had him again. If you don't wrap Carter, you're not going to take him down. Jeff Sherman finally got him.
If Sherman doesn't make that tackle, he's the free safety. Everybody else had blitzed up through the holes, and he was the last line of defense.
Yep. Otherwise, Ki-Jana's got another big number. All right, Herman O'Berry is waiting for Darrell Kenya's punt. Big series right there for the Oregon defense, I think. One fellow may be lined up in the neutral zone. Kick is out of there. Good. Oh, that is a very good kick. Berry retreats all the way to the 22-yard line. There's a penalty flag down, and O'Berry is taken down by Stephen Pitts. And that's the second time that Pitts has been very prominent in kick coverage.
Good kick and good coverage.
And I think we've got a penalty coming here against the Oregon Ducks. That was a 50-yard punt and a loss of a yard on the return. Might very well have been a push in the back. But they're not indicating that, so we'll finally get a call here after they've sorted it out from their meeting.
Illegal block in the back on the receiving team.
Yep.
Post-scrimmage kick foul. We go from the end of the kick, 10 yards. First.
You can see the look of Rich Brooks. That's quite definitive.
Here's a look at the possessions for Oregon. They had it 8 times. They scored on their second possession and should have scored on their second last. They had it on the Penn State 33 and missed the field goal. Here are the leaders. O'Neal with a great first half, 278 yards. Whittle leads the rushers, and Wilcox and McLemore lead the receivers.
They're just outside the 10-yard line for the first down after the penalty. And they give it to Whittle, and Whittle is taken down up around the 12. Todd Atkins, number 58 for Penn State, has been a very solid defensive performer for the Lions so far today.
He's got a couple of sacks under his belt already.
But he's been there. He's been there.
No, you're exactly
all the ways
right.
around. Yeah. Give him a yard on the carry. O'Neal flips it out to Whittle. Whittle looking for some help on the corner. Didn't get it. Picked up a couple of yards, and again Lynch won.
Well, Keith, you know Rich Brooks was very upset at the end of the first half when he didn't get a chance to kick the field goal. McLemore didn't get out of bounds. When I talked to him, he said, I'm not going to change anything we're doing on offense or defense. The kids are playing hard. They're playing strong. We just have to take advantage of our opportunities, and we didn't do that in the first half. And he says physically, he believes this young man can play with Penn State. Penn State's obviously bigger, but Oregon is going to be in a fight, and he believes they can win it.
They're quicker. Oregon's quicker.
And they've got heart.
3rd down and 6. They're 1 out of 7 on 3rd down conversions. O'Neal's got a problem. Now you need to throw it, but he can't do it. He can't pull that trigger in those circumstances.
The reason he can't pull the trigger, there's nobody open, Keith.
Nobody downfield.
Nobody open.
Normally when your quarterback scrambles, you got to go with him, and nobody went with him. He didn't have any choice but to run out of bounds. So Penn State ought to come out of this with pretty good field position. First they get a 50-yard punt from Kenya. Oregon loses a yard on the return. Belden needs one of those howitzers he hit to close the first half. Mike Archie standing back at about his own 40. Belden's punt, not bad. And he's got Archie in a fair catch back at the 39. That's a very good point. Punt by the freshman from Arizona. He's in motion. Terry Collins looking for him. There it is. And it's a first down. right about the 50-yard line.
How'd you know that?
I just think he's due. He's a terrific pass receiver, and they haven't used him much. And he's been open a lot.
Well, they've been open. Both wide receivers have been open because, again, of the 7- and 8-man front that they want to not only blitz, but also stop the run of Ki-Jana Carter.
First and 10.
Whatever it is they're doing can't be too bad, is it?
That's right.
14-7 ball game.
Yeah, they're in the ball game.
Mike Archie replacing Carter in the backfield. Goes in motion. Here's Kerry Collins. You drop it off to Archie, looking for a screen. Got loose on the sidelines. And Jeff Sherman, the free safety, knocks him out.
Collins passing to Mike Archie.
They're airing it out
Jeff
here to
Sherman
start
on the tackle.
the second half of play.
Franny Gantner, the offensive coordinator, was one of his concerns prior to the game was the blitz package of Oregon and how would they do it and would he be able to pick it up? Well, he's adjusted a little bit, as Lynn said. He talked to Paterno. They're blitzing a little bit differently. They've had time to adjust to it.
Ball is at the 33, first down for the Lions.
But they're faking it now.
Give it to Archie. And they're still keyed to the run. You got Kenny Wheaton, number 20 now. He's the right cornerback or the nickel back, and he's at the bottom of the stack at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. They put Wheaton in, which is a 5th defensive back, and take out one of their linebackers. So it's a 4 defensive linemen, 2 and 5 linebackers. And he's just as good a tackler as he is coverage guy.
Second down and 10. Collins hit as he throws. The pass is incomplete. Pass intended for the tight end Kyle Brady. And Kenny Wheaton jumped Brady pretty well that time, and Kerry Collins got flattened.
Incomplete. Knocked away by Freddie Scott. Tackled by Alex Molden. Gain of 9 yards. Brent Conway attempting the field goal.
Looking for it again, throws a bullet, and he drills it to Freddie Scott. And he's short of the first down.
Gain of 9 yards.
He caught the ball just over the 25, and he had to go to the 23. So Brett Conway trots onto the field, and he will try a field goal.
Brent Conway attempting the field goal.
They will spot the ball right about the 32. Plenty of leg. Got it. Oh no, he missed it. Pulled it out. And the Lions come away empty.
That's the 4th missed field goal in this game today. 2 on either side.
21-yard line for Penn State with Carter and Milne in the backfield. And Collins throwing on first down. Down the middle, pass complete. Kyle Brady tied in. Let me tell you something about Brady now. He's 6'6", 260 pounds. Your safeties are the people who have to deal with him. And they are Chad Cota, 6'1" and 190-91. He's more than 181. Jeff Sherman at about 180. So they're giving away height, 5 inches. They're giving away about 70 pounds or more.
This kid is the best ever tight end that has played at Penn State. They had a good receiving tight end in Ted Qualick a few years back. But as far as blocking and receiving the whole package, Kyle Brady is the best that Joe Paterno has had. In fact, he said that Kerry Collins has played as well as any quarterback that he has had there, and that Ki-Jana Carter has run as well as all of his great backs, Kurt Warner and the other ones included. And you know, that's pretty strong when you've got 3 guys on your offense, best position players ever.
That's Freddie Scott in motion. He leaves Ingram on the near side. There's the wide man. Hand it to the up man, the fullback, number 22, Brian Milne. Oh, I tell you, these 2 fullbacks are all over. They are big, strong people.
This offense is averaging 48 points a game. They are the #1 scoring offense in the country and the #1 offense in the country as far as total yards are concerned.
Gain of 3
Ball
yards.
is at the 35-yard line. 2nd down and 7 for the Nittany Lions. They're leading 14-7. Oregon again lines them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Here they come.
Passes away, and the pass is incomplete. Alex Molden covering Freddie Scott. That's a pretty good matchup there. There's no inhibitions about Molden and O'Berry. They'll take you on man and run all over the field with you.
Well, here's what you're getting. The linebacker is blitzing. You're going to have 6 guys coming. When you do that, everybody in the secondary is matched up. You see Sherman at the top of your screen is matched up. He throws the other way. You just have to get open. And Scott didn't get open.
Somebody had a hold of him as he let the ball go, too. On 3rd down, Kerry Collins has time to pump it, then takes a lick, completes the pass. 1st down, thrown to Juravicius. It was Juravicius who made the catch on the big play that set up the go-ahead touchdown. Now he comes up with another big play.
And Juravicius, as you mentioned, probably has gotten less playing time than all of the other wide receivers.
He's 6'5", he's 220 pounds. He's a redshirt freshman from Sharpton, Ohio.
And I think one of the reasons he's able to get open is because of his size, Keith. 6'5" and 220, as you mentioned. He can just, if he just positions himself inside the corner, he's open.
It's become Kerry Collins' ball game now, hasn't it?
Yep.
Back to throw again on 1st down to the sideline. The pass is complete to Mike Archie. And Archie has what appears to be another 1st down or very close to it.
Mike Archie.
It'll be on the Oregon side of the field near the 46-yard line.
And as you mentioned, it's Collins' game now, and it really plays in to the strength of the Ducks because their strength is their secondary. They've stopped Carter, Ki-Jana Carter. Other than that first run of the game, their strength is in their secondary. They're forcing Collins to throw the ball against that secondary.
But somebody's got to get in the quarterback's face. The best secondary in the world isn't going to do much, and if you give that guy like that time to stand around and survey.
That's why the blitzing, the 5 and 6 men come to put pressure because the defensive line is not the strength of this defensive team.
The size of Kerry Collins impressive, though. The Michigan game earlier this year when he shook big old Steve Morrison off his back and threw a rope for a pass completion. He sold me right there. Yeah. He's about 235 or so pounds. He stands 6'5".
He's only been sacked 5 times this year.
That's testimony to those blue-collar guys in front of him. Archie and Whitman in the backfield. 2nd down and very short. Collins dancing around. They're coming after him, but he gets his pass away. It's intercepted. It's picked off by Reggie Jordan. And Jordan is knocked out of bounds down at the 17-yard line. Oregon's ball, 1st down, Penn State 17-yard line after Reggie Jordan's first interception. Rich Rule walked off the field. Geldheisers is back for Penn State, having had an ankle retaped. And it's Whittle and Jones lined up behind Danny O'Neill. They've not been in the air yet in this half. By Jones, fullback out of La Puente, California, and Gelsheiser is right there. You could hear that one all the way in Pomona as they ran together.
Gelsheiser put on some other shoes. He gets some high tops on.
Well, they retaped his ankle, and they are high tops, yes. He's had ankle trouble, I think, half
like he
the
put
season.
some white tape over those high tops.
Yep. There was nothing on that play. Nothing. So it is 2nd down and 10.
Oregon had 29 passes first half, none yet this half.
O'Neal's pass to the corner. Gotta be good.
I don't think he came down in bounds.
Kristen McLemore. He was carried out on the shoulders of a Penn State defender. The officials have signaled nothing.
Yeah, he signaled touchdown.
Where?
The one man down there, the one official signaled touchdown. But you got to get a foot in bounds. This is not the NFL rule where if you're pushed out. Let's take a look.
They carried him out,
I
clearly.
don't think he got a foot in. This is not the NFL where if you're carried out, the official judgment, if he doesn't get a foot in bounds on his own, he's out of bounds.
It is a touchdown. It is a touchdown, folks. Here's the kick. And he just barely got it through, so Belden's having a hard time with this place kicking stuff today, but we're tied at 14 with 4 minutes and 54 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter. Ambrose Fletcher at the 7. That's fresh legs. Finally got him.
Those
at
fresh
the 21-yard line.
His fresh legs wore out, didn't they?
Yeah, but it makes a difference. Isaac Walker, a cornerback, finally ran him down at the Oregon 21. So the Ducks get themselves pinned in the middle of the field, and the Nittany Lions blow them out of the water.
Well, Collins makes a mistake. Oregon turns it into a touchdown, and Penn State comes right back and shows its grit on its special teams. The kickoff return team makes a big play, and Penn State has it on about the 21-yard line.
4:40 to play in the 3rd quarter. 14-14 tie. This is Carter. And Ki-Jana Carter is taken down by Kenny Wheaton at about the 17-yard line. So that's a pickup for 4 yards. Carter's been pretty quiet since that big opening run. 32 yards, a couple of fumbles. They have really been on his case. 2nd down, 6.
Here they come.
Carter again. He's gone.
Yeah.
Wide open left side. Bang. Penn State comes right back and regains the lead. But it was the kickoff return that did it. Oregon got pinned in the middle. And the Nittany Lions buried them. And from the 21, it was pretty easy.
Nick Alioti, the defensive coordinator, says we're going to gamble. Look at all these guys blitzing, and there's going to be a huge hole up inside. Offensive line does a nice job. That's Conlon, number 53, comes across and gets a block. It may be one of the easiest touchdowns.
Took 1 minute and 1 second.
Carter ever scored.
Conway is good on the point. So Nick now has got to regroup his troops at 3:53 to play in the 3rd quarter. Well back in the end zone. No return by Whittle. They'll bring it out to the 20.
Ricky Whittle downs the ball in the end zone.
Well, they've shut down that little wide receiver screen move, that play they like. They haven't done anything with that lately. They've changed up the defense and got some confusion for Danny O'Neal to look at. Josh Wilcox has been shut down here in the third quarter. So the Ducks now need to look around and see if they can find another two.
It's right. Penn State adjusted defensively. So look at Josh. He's healthy. Jerry Sandusky made some adjustments. Now Oregon has to react to those adjustments. How about
Phil on a screen. Yeah, he's got some room. Oh, my goodness. He might have scored because he had McLemore going downfield, and McLemore could have picked off Jason Collins, and it would have been 6. But somebody just got the top of his foot.
Gain of 20 yards.
From the other side, Ricketts, number 3, is going to get a nice block inside on one of the linebackers. You're not going to see it, but
Gelsheiser.
Gelsheiser that got a piece of him?
Yep. He's a good one. First down for the Ducks now, up at the 40. Neal's over 300 yards. Look out, Willie Smith's coming. Pass down the middle. That'll be picked off. Bad pass. And Nittany Lions are cooking. It is Chuck Penzinik who made his first start in this ball game. This is his second interception. He runs it all the way back to the 13-yard line. What kind of a story do you think that is? Here is a kid that moved over to a position he had not played this year. He got his first start. His palms were like 2 rainstorms when he came to the ballpark today. And all of a sudden, he's having the game of his life.
Here's Penzinik, and they're trying to hit the square end. And the problem is, he's just going to throw the ball too high and right to Penzinik. It's a little play action. They're trying to get the safety to bite. Penzinik is staying deep. Deep middle, the ball is overthrown.
Yeah, that was Oregon's mistake. No question about it. It was a mistake by Danny. He just threw the ball.
Tried to force it.
Tried to force it. Too many white shirts. And here's Penn State knocking on the door.
Pass.
Back it comes to Collins. Collins is hit just as he catches the ball. And he will pick up a couple of yards as Herman O'Berry spelled that one coming. See, Mike Archie had a touchdown pass earlier in the season, you know, and he's been wolfing that pretty good.
He's 2 for 2. And both of them were for touchdowns. You know? So he's saying, oh, shucks. He says, Todd, Kerry College, you got to get in the end zone here. Come on. You're running my average.
It'll be second down and 8 for the Lions at the Oregon 11-yard line. Ducks defense needs to get its back up right here. Ki-Jana Carter and Brian Milne in the backfield, and that's Scott in motion. And it's Carter with the ball. Oh, I tell you, he is quick in traffic. He has great balance, big, thick, strong legs.
He's the best I've seen, Keith. We've seen a lot of him this year, but he's got a good offensive line, and he's got a tight end that can block, and he's got fullbacks that can block. Conlon gets rid of Asher, but this kid, he reminds me of Emmitt Smith. He is strong, and he is built low to the ground. Penn State has blockers everywhere. The tight end can block, the fullbacks can block, and tailback benefits from all of that.
It is first and goal for Penn State at the Oregon 3. 21-14, Nittany Lions have the lead as we head toward the end of the third quarter. Defense, Penn State defense is the difference in this game. Now, it was the offense early on. This is Carter, and he's touchdown. So, Penzinik comes up with the interception, the big return, and the offense just sticks it right into the end zone.
Watch here as the whole line is going to come off, and the play is just going to come around the left side. Nobody pulls. Tight end got his man. Whitman has a man. Just straight blocking.
Brett Conway for the extra point. Good. Long driving kick back inside the end zone. and beyond, and it'll come back to the 20. That's where the Ducks will go to work. 2 minutes and 1 second. They've been very quiet here in the third quarter. Had that one play where they almost broke him down the sideline.
First and 10, Oregon.
We've got 693 yards total in this game. 347 by Penn State, 346 by the Oregon Ducks. 28-14, Nittany Lions. Let's see if the Ducks can do some responding. Danny O'Neill hands it off to Dwayne Jones, and Jones on a quick hitter over the left side. We'll have about 5, maybe 6 yards.
By Brian Gelsheiser.
So much conversation.
Phil.
Some people call it hype, and I guess that's what it was. But it was a wearing experience for everybody involved as between the two undefeated teams, Nebraska, Tom Osborne, Penn State, Joe Paterno. I mean, these are two of the highest quality people in the game of college football.
Class people.
Yep. That ball is flown right through the hands of Dameron Ricketts. And they're friends. So I asked Joe the other day at a quiet moment his feelings about Nebraska winning in the Orange Bowl against Miami. And here's what he said.
The press can say what they want, newspaper people, television, anybody can say what they want, but nobody can take away from the fact that we did what we set out to do, and that was to win all our football games, get to the Rose Bowl, and if we can, win the Rose Bowl. And, you know, my mom, when I was a kid growing up, when the kids used to call me, in the neighborhood we were in, they'd call me WAP and things like that. And I'd come home crying. My mom used to say to me, nobody can make you feel inferior unless you let them. And nobody can take a national championship away from us if we win all our football games, because we're going to feel as if we're national champions.
And that's the way he feels. That's what he said all along. Now, Tom Osborne and his Nebraska Cornhuskers appear that they're going to get the vote. You heard what Tom said earlier today. He has an even keel about it. He doesn't have control of it. He's not involved in a game that'll decide it. He's got to wait for people to cast ballots. 32-yard line. And O'Neill back. Throws to Whittle. Whittle's in trouble with Willie Smith. Gets away from him, but steps out of bounds. Stepped out of bounds right about the line of scrimmage. I don't know, all my feelings, and I've made it as clear as I can make it. I think this would have been a great year to have had 4 teams, top 4 teams after the bowl games play 2 weeks. And you could have at least had a test run. Got some feeling about it.
Well, you've got the coalition set up this year, and next year it's going to be the alliance, where they're trying to get the top teams to play each other. The problem is that the Rose Bowl is not involved in the alliance. You know, Keith, I mean, I'm not against a playoff, but if you can convince me that it wouldn't hurt the bowl system as we know it today. This is a great bowl.
Yes, it is.
We've got over a.
That's Whittle with the ball, and he's got an Oregon first down up on the 45-yard line.
And over 100,000 people here today. But you tell me this. If Penn State, the fans, or the Oregon fans, if Penn State was number 2 like they are, and there was going to be another game next week between the 2 undefeated teams, if Penn State came out of this in Nebraska, and you were back in Pennsylvania, and you couldn't afford 2 trips.
15-yard gain, first and 10.
And the championship game was going to be wherever, in New Orleans or in Miami or wherever. And you couldn't afford 2 trips. All you could afford was 1 trip. Would this stadium be full, or would the one next week and not affect the bowl game?
That's a defensive play by the Penn State Nittany Lions, Terry Killens, who came boring in on a bull rush and knocked the Oregon man down back at the 40-yard line. Well, I don't know. The only problem I got with it is I don't want to see it, control of things get in the hands of bowl promoters. I think the college people have still got to keep control of it. And that's the first thing I look at. We go to the final 15 minutes, and it's put up time for the Oregon Ducks. They're looking at 2nd down and 16. They trail 28-14. They have the ball at their own 40-yard line. Danny O'Neill back, has pretty good protection. His pass is away to Tristan McLemore. And McLemore gets a pretty good gain out of it before he is knocked out on the Penn State side of the field.
But if you like offense, you'll like these numbers, big numbers, everywhere you look, total number of plays. Interesting one right here for Oregon. 336 yards passing is the most against any opponent for Penn State this year. 2 turnovers, both of them have led to the opponent scoring 1 touchdown.
3rd down and 4. 3rd and 4. O'Neill's pass to McLemore in the middle of the field, and he's got a 1st down as he's inside the 30. Kristen McLemore from Huntington Beach, California.
One of the best routes in college football, pro football, is a slant, about three steps down, and he doesn't really break it off. He doesn't have to, because Penn State playing a 3-deep zone. The slants are there, and that was a good throw by O'Neill to McLemore.
8 catches, 80 yards for Chris. Same thing, except misses Ricketts. He missed Cameron Ricketts with it. Threw it a little quickly, maybe.
Pass intended for Ricketts.
It'll be 2nd down and 10. The ball is at the Penn State 28-yard line. It's been a tough, hard football game.
You know, Rich Brooks has done a great job, Keith. The preseason polls, the people who were supposed to know had him picked last and next to last in the Pac-10 conference. They are the Cinderella team, unquestionably. They beat Southern Cal, they beat Arizona and Washington to get here.
O'Neill doesn't have anybody to throw to. Now throws it to the ground.
And then they all look around.
There was nobody over there. Nobody went with him.
Yeah, there was.
Your quarterback scrambling, one for his life. You got to go the same direction.
Yeah. Whittle was over there just enough to allow him to throw the ball into the ground. But,
what are they doing to Wilcox? We haven't heard anything from Josh the whole 2nd half. One time, caught the ball one time.
But he had 7 catches at half. He only caught 19 all year coming in.
3rd down, O'Neill steps up, throws, Gurry is. Tried to get it to Wilcox, and Marlon Forbes got a hand on it and knocked it away.
O'Neill pass intended for Josh Wilcox.
There's Wilcox. Now watch, as a linebacker. Yaboa Cody, 43. They're all backing up. Gelsheiser's backing up. There's Forbes. He's just playing the area. Now his man got in the area. He'll play him a little bit.
Just tipped.
Just knocked it away.
All right, here comes Belden with a man-sized field goal try.
Might be a fake here if you got one.
Might be. He's going to mark it right about the 45. It's up. And he can't buy one. That thing stayed right, started right, stayed right.
Hit the
It's been
bar,
that way
didn't it?
all day. Hit the bar.
Hit the upright. He'll be back.
Harry Collins wanted to let it go. Now he does. He's got Bobby Ingram back there, and it is incomplete. And he was in a full-scale duel with Jeff Sherman, the free safety.
Collins pass intended for Bobby Ingram, incomplete.
I went up there
Jeff Sherman on the
and
play.
spent a day with him, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. And I can say over the years, all the games that I've been involved in with Joe Paterno's football teams, I have never failed to enjoy being around his team.
Yeah. It's been such a delightful week. I'll never get the image of those 2 dancing. Joe with Sue at the director's dinner the other night, and Rich with his wife Karen, and they were the only 2 on the dance floor. And then Joe went over and switched, traded wives, and they danced for a while, and everybody there applauded.
Well, it's supposed to be a festival. That's why the ball games, the bowl games are perhaps important in the sense that they are supposed to be festival. But we insist on heaping all manners of hype and pressure on top of the kids, and it's pretty hard sometimes to have a festival when the media insists on loading them up. 3rd down and 7. That's a good play by Molden on Bobby Ingram. I'll tell you what, those two corners, O'Berry and Molden, and Wheaton, when he's in the ball game, have done a job on the wide receivers at Penn State.
Single coverage. Collins went to the right man. Molden, the defensive back, did his job. He had him covered.
Darrell Kenny is on the field, 42, 36, 39, and 50. Now here's Pat Johnson, the speed burner for Oregon, back for the first time today as a kick returner. I think this is part of his future, too, because he has such speed. Once he learns to play the game, look out. That one slid off the foot. Bounce right back to where Pat Johnson was, but there are too many white shirts around it. All right, Brett, you guys are in for some fun down there in Newlands tonight, I think. 28-14 here, Penn State. Oregon with the ball now at their own 27-yard line. Dino Filio, the single back for the Ducks. Danny O'Neill. Not much on the play as Tony Pittman stepped right up on Filio in a hurry. The Big Ten, of course, trying to win their third in a row against the Pac-10 if the Nittany Lions close the door on this one. I know some of you perhaps wondering about the future of Ki-Jana Carter. Nobody knows what it is, not even Ki-Jana perhaps at this point in time. O'Neill steps away from the pressure, turns it upfield and runs for very close to the first down. Depends on where they give him the mark. May not have given him the first down.
Joe Paterno telling us a couple days ago that after the season he intends to sit down with Ki-Jana and his mother and hash it over a little bit.
Also,
he was redshirted his first. This is his fourth year in school.
Interesting as they bring the change on that Joe Paterno has had unbeaten teams in 1968 that finished second, 1969 that finished second in the national polls I'm talking about. It is a first down by just a smidgen. 1973 an unbeaten team finished fifth. 1986 they finally got one, but here he is again, going to probably finish the season undefeated and finish second.
Well,
in the national poll.
Yeah, but he also won a national championship when he lost a game one year.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, in '82.
That's Kristen McLemore with the ball. And a pickup of close to 7-8 yards.
The amazing thing about Joe, in his 29 years, and this is his 29th season as head coach at Penn State, he has had 7 undefeated regular seasons where he's gone through the regular season.
Well, that 78 team was a great team. Chuck Ucina, Mike Goodman, Matt Stewart, all those guys, you know, lost to Alabama in the Sugar Bowl. One of the great college football games of all time. Second down and 4, short 4. There's your first down. It's Filio, and Dino moves it to the Penn State side of the field, the 48-yard line. O'Neill is now over 400 yards in total offense.
There's a look from up above, the Goodyear blimp.
First and 10.
Filio number 12 just going to slide out. O'Neill does a nice job of setting this up. And then the speed burner.
Ball loose. He came away, came off the snap, didn't stay down under it, and the ball got loose. And O'Neill covers it. Danny is saying, get that building off of me.
Ball recovered by Danny O'Neill.
Also on that play of about 4 yards. At least a good 3. Second down and 13, 12, 10 to play in the game. 28-14. The ball is slapped down. Intended for Kristen McLemore, and Willie Smith dropping off. The outside linebacker knocked it down. So it'll bring up 3rd and 13. Saturday, January 14, season premiere of the Professional Bowlers Tour. Begins with the AC Delco Classic. Then the national champion Razorbacks of Arkansas meet Auburn. Duke plays Virginia. You'll have other regional games as Pizza Hut College basketball begins January 14 here on ABC Sports. 3rd down, big play here for the Ducks. Yeboah Cody got him. What a good play by Phil Yeboah Cody from Montreal.
He's going to beat the back from the left side. Watch as Filio, number 12, steps out to block. The first problem is he didn't step close enough to the line of scrimmage. Secondly, he tried to cut him, and Yeboah Cody, great athletic ability, just jumps over him and takes him down with one hand.
And they'll punt. Belden. Archie waiting. Didn't get it to turn, but it takes a good bounce. And rolls net at about the 13-yard line, a 47-yard punt at State College, Pennsylvania. First down for the Nittany Lions, and this is Ki-Jana Carter. And they're able to keep him from turning the corner as Alex Molden, the cornerback, came up and pushed him out of bounds.
Well, we've been mentioning the blocking up front. Brady, number 81, watch him as he blocks down on the defensive end. That's Bailey, number 56, doing it by himself, and the follow-through. Stays with him and stays with him. That is very impressive. And that young man will be very popular when it's time to draft tight ends in the upcoming NFL draft. He will be a highly drafted kid, I guarantee you.
Oh, look at this. They swarmed him. Paul Jensen was the first man to get there. And Carter not only didn't get a second step that time, he really didn't get his first one.
Well, the last time you saw what good when the offense dominates. Now watch as the linebackers mix up the blocking scheme for the offensive line. Linebackers coming in different gaps at different times. 7 and 8 people coming through the line of scrimmage.
Pass was too high and behind Bobby Ingram. You know, I'll tell you what, that big old Bucky Greeley, number 60, the center from Penn State, he's a chunk in the middle of that line, you know, and you don't knock him out of there much.
You know, he's underappreciated. You know, Harding's next to him is the All-American.
Darrell Kenya punting to Penn State.
Greeley is the captain. He made All-Conference second team. Centers are the guys that usually are the smaller ones and the brighter ones that have to make all the line calls.
Oregon's going after this one. Kenya in the end zone. Should hit it about the 1-yard line. They've got 10 ducks up there. But he gets it out. And a fair catch as Johnson lets it go. There are the most important numbers you need to know. The time remaining and the score of the ball game. It is first down for the Oregon Ducks at their own 46-yard line. Danny O'Neill quickly to Ricketts. Dameron Ricketts running in the middle of the field. Will pick up the better part of 7 yards. O'Neill has 35 completions now, which is a new 34 completions, which is a new Rose Bowl record. That moves him past Ron Vanderkellen in that 1963 shootout between USC and Wisconsin. Here's Whittle, and Whittle getting down the sidelines for a big play and a first down at the Penn State 31-yard line.
Getting the ball on screen plays to his best and fastest players. Ricketts on one play and Whittle on another.
He now totals 405 yards, and that also passes Ron Vanderkellen's record.
There's plenty of time left in this ball game, Keith.
31, Penn State. Willie Smith got him. Ball came out, but he was down. Willie Smith one-handed him and took him down for a loss back around the 35-yard line. Time remaining is 9:08 in the ball game.
Look at those numbers. He's only missed 13 passes.
Now it's clutch time. 3rd and 14. Smith again. No, it's not Smith. It's Terry Killens. Killens with a great play.
Neal's pass broken up by...
They've had some great linebackers here, Keith.
Yeah, that Killens is going to be a man.
Yeah, he plays behind Willie Smith. Remember a linebacker that was at Penn State that didn't get much notoriety until he got out of Penn State, and that was Jack Ham.
Yep.
It's just the system. Once they get out of there, boy, they turn them loose.
4th down, they're going. Ball is out on the 35. 4th and 14. Oregon doesn't use the shotgun. Full rush, pass away, pass is incomplete. Kristen McLemore had his hands on it. The ball was just a little too high for him to reel it in. That's 50 pass attempts now for Danny O'Neal, and that also beats a Ron Van de Kellen record.
Coming from your right side, man coverage. He's well covered, but look at the effort of McLemore. That's Brian Miller.
1st and 10.
He just gets this off. Look at the effort put forth here.
Almost put that thing in his pocket, didn't he?
He would have caught it if Miller hadn't have shaken it loose.
Yep. Mike Archie now is in the backfield with Brian Milne as the Nittany Lions take over at their own 35-yard line, and Milne with a strong run of 6 yards as a penalty flag is thrown on the far side of the field. And the clock stops at 8:49 to play in the game. Offsides, Oregon. You know, the story the other day was that Penn State now, they have a huge number of alumni here in the Southern California area. And someone said that they have the largest dues-paying alumni association in the country. And the story is, of course, that Michigan has
They used to tell me Michigan did.
the largest number of living alumni, but not necessarily dues-paying alumni.
Oh, I see.
Some of those Michigan guys got short arms. They're not paying their dues.
1st and 5.
Well, they're coming into this ball game. A note we alluded to a long time ago that Joe Paterno was even with Paul Bryant in postseason bowl game wins. And if his team wins this one today, and it appears kind of likely now that he is going to pass
Tackled by
Paul
Bryant
Bryant's
Jackson.
record. So it's been quite a day of records in this 81st Rose Bowl game. Now the big old fullbacks, Milne and Whitman, are going to start beating on the defenders of Oregon.
Colorado.
Jump Notre Dame, 41 to 24. Huh?
McCartney goes out a winner. We wish him well. Nothing but the best.
Rick Neuheisel steps in behind him. Be one of the
4-yard
youngest.
gain.
There you go. Look, if you didn't know what, let's get another shot of that. You know, if you didn't know who was at the top of that, it's almost becoming a trademark.
Well, do you know why he wears his
Oh,
pants?
I sure do. I saw Sue the other night, and she told me that
Keep him from getting dirty.
back in the early 60s when he was an assistant coach, he wore his best breeches, and he'd get them dirty.
Right.
Come home dirty, and she'd say, roll them up. And you know what? And coaches are superstitious as all get out, and he probably was winning, and he just, because I'm sure he doesn't wear his best breeches now. He probably wears some coaching pants from the issue there at Penn State. But they get superstitious, and they just don't change.
Milne goes up the middle,
ball
picks
carrier.
up the first down. And at 8 minutes to play in a ball game, they can move the chains again. Wednesday night is special on ABC this week. You've got 3 of TV's funniest ladies and 2 great hours of comedy. Roseanne, Grace, another Roseanne, and then Ellen, starting at 8, 7 Central. Sam Donaldson, Diane Sawyer will be at Wednesday with a new primetime live in its new night. All of it Wednesday night here on ABC. "48-yard line. Nittany Lions starting to grind it now, and breaking up the middle is Mike Archie. And Archie inside the 35, and the Oregon Ducks defense getting tired now.
You look at the offensive line. Brady is to the right, number 81. That's Rivera, number 54. The fullback is there too. 81 gets a big block, buries his man to the inside. That's Bailey again. When you've got a tight end that can block, and a fullback that can block. I mean, the offensive line is supposed to be able to block, but you get those two guys blocking, and your tailback's going to gain a lot of yardage.
From the 34, the Ducks respond as Ki-Jana Carter comes into the ball game, and they roll him down short of the line of scrimmage. Now we go inside 7 minutes to play in the ball game.
Making the tackle.
Ki-Jana Carter has started 18 games in his college career, and in 16 of those 18, he's gained over 100 yards. Seems a little bit disgusted that he's coming out of the game here today.
Second down and 13. Kerry Collins quickly hits Freddie Scott. And Scott will get inside the 30, and that'll be first. No, it won't be first. They're going to go just near the 24 for it.
Alex Molden on the tackle.
There of about 8. The last Big Ten team to come into the Rose Bowl unbeaten and untied was Ohio State back in 1979. But the Southern California Trojans beat them 17-16.
It's interesting the mix of teams we've had in the last few years too. A lot of different teams. Wisconsin won from the Big Ten last year. Michigan 2 years ago.
That pass is swung out to Mike Archie, and Archie is knocked out of bounds, and he is hit short of the 25, which means he's short of the first down. I tell you what, they bring a freshness, a whole new ambiance, an enthusiasm that is wonderful.
Wisconsin last year, and then Oregon this year, and Penn State.
They put up a great big tent outside the Rose Bowl for those who couldn't get tickets. This was a tough ticket this year.
I think that's a great idea. Big, one of those big screens.
3 yards on the play.
So if you just want to come to this area and be a part of the ambiance, not get inside with a ticket, but hang around.
Ain't a bad place to hang around. It's not shaking. 43-yard field goal try, a lot of leg, it's good.
43-yard field.
Whittle from the goal line, and he can't find a crack. Comes out to the 18, and there the Ducks will start. Eddie O'Neill, who has been a big record setter in this ball game, comes out at quarterback. O'Neill has what now? 3 records: yardage, attempts, and completions.
Grew up in this area too, didn't he, Keith?
Yes, Newport.
Yeah, a lot of the, in fact, 52 of the 94 players on this Oregon roster are from the state of California.
Because Oregon still got a lot of grass growing.
I mean, they don't have a lot of, not many people up there.
The way they want it. Here's a little bit of a delay with Philyaw trying to pop out of there, and Dino can't quite get it done. He gets up to about the 20. Somebody grabbed him and took him under. Probably Gelsheiser. He's in the neighborhood, and if he's in the neighborhood, normally he's got a piece of the action. Willie Smith shows blitz. Pass hit off the back of Dameron Ricketts because O'Neill had to throw it so quickly because he saw that big old backer blitzing right up the middle. Atkins, he was right in his face. This is the 31st different possession in this ball game. In other words, Oregon's had the ball 16 times and Penn State's had it 15 times.
Normally, you'll have it maybe 11 or 12, 10, 11 or 12 times. If you have long possessions, obviously you won't have it but 7 or 8, but been a lot of short possessions.
And that won't get him the first down as McLemore makes the catch.
O'Neill's pass completed to Kristen McLemore. Jason Collins making the tackle.
Let's see what they decide to do on 4th down, way back here on their end of the field. If they go for it and don't get it, then they've pretty well conceded points to Penn State. At 4:45 to play in the ball game.
You're down 17 with 4 minutes to play.
Doesn't matter, does it?
Look out.
Yeboah Cody. Phil Yeboah Cody. And Penn State will own the football down around the Oregon 13-yard line.
Jerry Sandusky, the defensive coordinator, has finally found an area where he can blitz and get in and sack. There's Sandusky.
That's the first time Jerry's that smile.
Yes.
Since he came west.
From the top of the screen, one of the outside linebackers, Yaboa Cody and Willie Smith. Left side, the guard tries to get out. That's Reed, 71. Smith sacking him, and Yaboa Cody. We've reached the low water mark for Penn State in scoring this year. They scored, the lowest coming in was 31 points against Michigan. That was the lowest they've scored. They've reached that now. They got 31, and it looks like they may get more.
That was John Whitman carrying the ball, fullback. He's at 238 pounds, and Brian Milne 253 pounds. And they can line those two up in a bull backfield and make life real hard for you.
What I enjoy is when they get on the goal line, they got both fullbacks in the game, Whitman and Milne, and they take the highfalutin running back, Ki-Jana Carter, take him out of the backfield and put him on the wing and let him block for the two big backs.
All at the 9-yard line. They give it to Whitman. He's down to the goal line, but not in. Oh, they call him in. He tumbles over. I thought he was short.
I thought he was too, but I don't think it's going to make any difference.
No.
9 yards.
So Penn State will finish the season scoring 51 straight times when they have been in what is called the red zone. He's down a yard short of the goal line. They gave him 6 there. He was down.
I don't think they gave him. Maybe they gave it one play earlier. They would have got
Mike Barnegar is in for the extra point try, number 88. Mike Barnegar. So he gets a chance to pop one up. And through. Conway kicks it. High. A lot of air on it. Ball is taken by Whittle at about the 6-yard line. And he's across the 25. Now the Ducks can take another shot at it. But I think the issue has been resolved.
And you got to give the coaching staff credit and the players, Keith, for having known what the result was last night. Nebraska won.
Hey, we're number one. You got to give us at least one of them. You got to get at least one of polls. We're number one. We're number one. One of them. At least one of them. We're number one. Got to give it to us.
Ki-Jana, we don't have a vote.
Look at the score against Gang Green defense.
Well, there was a little lobbying for some votes. I'm just going to say the players and the coaches of Penn State came out and took care of business.
Josh Wilcox made that catch, so he's all right, Mama.
Josh
got himself a tattoo, though, and his mama wasn't too happy about that. His younger brother, incidentally, is quite a quarterback out of high school in Junction City, Oregon, and just this past week committed to going to school at Oregon. So the Wilcox name carries on at the University of Oregon. That's the first down as Cameron Ricketts makes the catch and moves it over to the Penn State side of the field.
Keith, I'll ask you a question. This Penn State offense leads the nation in total offensive scoring. What's the best offense you've seen this year?
This one, probably.
Florida, Colorado.
No, I like this one.
Florida State.
I'll tell you why I like this one. I like this one because of the balance.
Run and pass.
Yep. Even though Oregon has controlled the passing game relatively well, I mean, you can't see Jurevicius coming in and making the big play the two big plays he made. You don't expect it. But at the same time, give Danny O'Neill all the credit in the world for doing what he's done today.
Penn State averaging 250 yards a game on the ground and 270 yards through the air. How about the most exciting game we had this year? End of the year.
This is Whittle down the sideline.
From the start of the season when they were
going to the end zone. Incomplete. That's a good defensive play. Pat Johnson, the speedster, was down there, but it was a very good play by the Penn State defender. That's Wilcox again for the first down. He's across past the marker, and he's got his first down.
Keith, there was a time during the season that Penn State and Nebraska were split number ones. One was 1 and 1 poll, and it was going into the first week in November. In fact, Penn State was playing at Indiana. They ended up winning the game 35-29, but there were 2 late touchdowns by Indiana in the last 2 minutes, and one of them was a Hail Mary. And after that point, Nebraska was number 1 in both polls. And prior to that, it was a split poll. So
O'Neal threw that one away.
Yeah.
Incomplete, intended for Josh Wilcox.
Well, you know, my feeling on that is there's quite a gap in both of the polls between first and second, first place votes, right? Now, if all of a sudden you get a big flip-flop in one of the polls, then what those guys are admitting is they've been wrong all along. Well, I don't think you're going to see them. I don't think you'll see that much of a flip-flop.
Penn State had some problems on the road. They had problems at Illinois.
Whittle trying to find his way down the sidelines, and he is finally pounded down at about the 5-yard line.
I like the gun.
Looked like he might get in for 6.
I like the fight of this young Oregon team.
It is a young team.
Yes, it is.
Very young.
O'Neal won't be back. But
Graziani is waiting in the wings.
Yes, he is.
Tony Graziani.
They lose the fullback, Jones. They lose O'Neal and 1 offensive lineman, and the rest of them will be back.
He was the young fellow that came down to the Coliseum and beat USC.
Yes, he did. The left-hander, sidewinder.
Yep. Got a big frame. He might put on some weight, too. 3rd down and very, very short. Whittle didn't get it. Now on second effort, he's going to get it. Look at him ride the back of that big old offensive side. Harden and company. Tassi Malapai. So they'll have their first down, it appears, and if so, that'll stop your clock at 2:57. And it'll be first down and go Oregon at the Penn State 3. Won't matter much in the ultimate outcome, but it will matter to the Oregon Ducks and their faithful. O'Neal throws beyond the end zone, incomplete. McLemore and Kristen was well off the field to play. McLemore has 10 catches for 103 yards. Wilcox 10 catches for 130 yards. Ricketts 7 catches for 74 yards. Phil Yaw 6 catches for 80 yards. Then mix in the others.
Justin McLemore, Kristen McLemore set a record with his 20th touchdown reception of his career. That moved him ahead of Bobby Moore, or you may know him as Ahmad Rashad.
Whittle touchdown. Ricky Whittle scampers in for 6.
This is not insignificant points that Oregon is putting on the board either, because the kids that are coming back to this program next year will remember that they fought to the final bell at this Rose Bowl game, and they'll want to come back.
And Rich Brooks is kind of standing in awe of all of his new friends until they all found out there were no tickets available. On for 2. McLemore didn't get in. He did not get in.
How about tough luck player of the year, a guy that maybe got hurt?
Well, I think Tyrone Wheatley had a tough.
Wheatley did have a tough year. Tommy Frazier. How about Tommy Frazier?
Tommy Frazier. He ended it in a considerable grand fashion.
How about Jerry Copeland at Tennessee?
Yeah, that's the ultimate. Onside kick. Penn State covers it, and the Nittany Lions have the ball at the 45 of Oregon, and it looked like Bobby Ingram probably was the man on the ball.
J.J. Stokes at USC. I mean, it's UCLA. Yeah.
But you know, the heartbreak of heartbreaks had to be Jerry Copeland right here. Yeah. In the Rose Bowl against UCLA. That was really
waited his turn behind.
10 Penn State.
Heath Schuler.
Heath Schuler, 5th-year senior. He finally got his chance to play.
goes Carter. And Ki-Jana Carter is out of bounds at the 34-yard line.
The ball carrier.
38-20. And the Penn State frontliners are still in there.
I think they'd get some of the backups in there to get a little playing time in the Rose Bowl, huh?
Well, looks like Wally Richardson may be the heir apparent. Yep. Graziani, the heir apparent from Oregon. Not necessarily so.
Penn State offense doesn't lose too many players either.
This is Brian Milne.
The ball carrier.
Both fullbacks are back. Both Ingram and Scott, the wide receivers, are back.
Freddie Scott's only
Jeremy
a sophomore.
Asher, the
Chris Campbell's only a sophomore.
They lose one offensive lineman, that's the center. Carter is a redshirt junior. He might be back. Of course, they lose Brady. I got one other thing for you, Keith. I worked with you for a long time here, 7, 8 years. Most memorable moments.
When?
This year.
This year?
Yeah. Of the year. Sticks out in my mind like it was the...
Well, I fell down on the floor the night at the Coliseum when you got stuck in the elevator. I thought that was pretty funny.
Oh, no. Well, well, that was I was going to talk about the same game, but something a little bit different. When all the power went out, and I'm watching you broadcast with a telephone.
Oh, I've done that before.
Oh, boy. I said, here is the main man, Mr. College Football, doing a broadcast on a telephone.
Worked.
I'll never forget that. Oh, boy.
24-yard line. Here goes Milne the other way, and they're just pounding now, just pounding as we come up on 1:20 to play. The executive producer of ABC Sports is Jack O'Hara. Coordinating producer of ABC's College Football is Bob Goodrich, who also produced today's game, who also produced a game in Green Bay on Saturday, and he's crazy. He's working pretty hard. Associate coordinating producer for college football is Jim Ressler, directed by Drew Esikoff, who was also running around all over the country this weekend. Our technical director, Gary, yeah, you get crazy too. Technical director, Gary Larkins. Associate director, Bruce Clark. Production manager, Joe Alvarado. Our technical operations managers, play stopped in the middle, Claude Phipps and Jerry Reuter. Assistants to the producer, Steve Shunk and Brady Bass. Statistician, Dave Burnson. Our spotter, Todd Berry. Our computer stats by Mark Amento. And our sideline coordinator, Doug Johnson. I'm Keith Jackson, working with Bob Greasy and Lynn Swan, who worked in Miami last Saturday. Well, I feel like I'm very lucky. I've had it pretty easy this past weekend. Wally Richardson is now in at quarterback for Penn State. Final seconds ticking away. This will do it. This is Stephen Pitts. And the game is over. The Penn State Nittany Lions defeat the Oregon Ducks 38-20. An untied, undefeated Penn State Nittany Lions.